I don't remember. I don't remember if it's every day. No, I can't recall. I can't recall. I don't remember all of the specifics of stuff that he's asked me to do. I don't recall. Okay.
Okay. When you were asked in October of 2019, would you be responsible for collecting rent? You said initially he wanted me to try to collect rent, but those tenants were so difficult, so I just didn't do it. Isn't that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you didn't actually collect rent?
No, he wanted me to collect it. Well, obviously here it says that I didn't.
Right. And today, though, you're saying that you did.
I said he wanted to. He wanted me to collect. I don't even remember what I just said.
Right. I just asked you if you collected rent, and you said you did.
Well,
and that was a lie, wasn't it?
I just said I didn't in this testimony.
Okay. And if you said that you collected rent from him today, and you previously said that you did not collect rent from his tenants, he wanted you to do it, but you never did it. That's a lie, right?
I should have told you to refresh my memory instead of saying that.
Okay. Was that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Please be seated. We'll continue with the testimony at this time. Cross-examination. Ms. Dugan, you may proceed.
All right. So I want to talk about what you just talked about with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
You said that you and Charlie Adelson were together in July of 2014, right?
Yes, ma'am. No, July 2014?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you broke up in August, you said?
I believe so.
Okay. And then you became friends after that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you became his personal assistant in September of 2014?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that all goes on in the matter of those 2 months, July to September 2014?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're someone's personal assistant, you have to see or talk to them every day, right?
See and talk to them every day?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them on the phone, but
Right.
not have to see them.
Okay. Did you and Charlie continue to talk on the phone every day, multiple times a day, since you were his personal assistant?
Multiple times a day? I don't remember.
Well, every day then?
I don't remember if it's every day.
Okay, well, how often would you talk to him?
I don't know. Do you have, like, phone record?
No, I'm just asking you, what's your memory of how often you talked to him?
From 2014?
When you became his personal assistant?
I don't know how often I was talking to him.
Well, if you're working for him and being his personal assistant, you said
Whenever he would call me, so,
Is that it's everyday duties that you had?
he was calling. I don't know how often he was calling me. That's why I don't want to answer, like, a wrong amount or a wrong number.
Okay. Well, you were getting paid every 10 days for your work, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you would have regular work and you'd have regular contact with him during all of your pay periods?
Not regular contact, no. I don't know how many times he would call me during the week.
Okay. And he had just broken up with you 2 months before that.
Like I said, like I was telling Ms. Kawas that I never had, like, a definitive date when we stopped, like, talking.
Sometime between the murder, though, and when you became his personal assistant, he broke up with you, though. That was your testimony?
Like, it was dwindling down, like, our relationship,
Meaning that he was ghosting you? That's what
Something
your
like that,
attorney
yeah.
said in her opening statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why would he want you working as his personal assistant if he was ghosting you?
Well, I told you that I needed that favor for the insurance purposes. That's why I put that I was working for him.
Uh-huh. And you needed that favor, though. You needed that favor, and you asked him for that favor actually in June of 2014, didn't you?
If that's what the records show.
Mm-hmm. Showing the first composite exhibit state 136.
All right, well, let's make sure we're going to get it. You're asking that State's Exhibit 136 is admitted into evidence? Right.
No objection.
It'll be admitted as State's Exhibit 136.
Permission to public?
Yes.
Sorry about that. I thought we'd
That's
done
all
that
right.
last time. All right. Looking at this, you asked him for this favor. Baby, I need your help with employment. I have to send it's DCF for my kids' insurance. Also, if I end up moving, I need to show I'm working for you, or else I won't be able to get an apartment. That was in June of 2014, right?
Yes, ma'am.
June 24th, actually, right in between the trips to Tallahassee to commit this murder, right?
Say the dates again.
June 24th, that's in between the June Tallahassee trip and the July Tallahassee trip,
I believe so.
that you asked for this favor for him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then you guys were together at the time that you asked this favor, right?
I believe so.
Right, but he didn't put you on the payroll in June, did he?
No, I don't think I was on the payroll till September, you said?
Right. Okay, so that was a favor that he did for you after he broke up with you, you're saying?
We never really broke up, like I guess when we stopped having like that type of relationship.
Right, you were no longer intimate with each other?
Not that I could recall.
Okay. You said that y'all broke up sometime after the murder of Dan Markel, and then about in May, that's when you got together with Sigfredo Garcia, right?
I got in 2015.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
But you said that in August, that's when he broke up with you.
I don't know the dates that when we stopped, or not stopped, but like when our communication dwindled down in the relationship.
Okay. You asked him for that favor in June when y'all were definitely together, though.
I believe so.
And he ghosted you after the murder of Dan Markel. That's what the argument is, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But at the same time that you're saying he ghosted you, you're also saying he asked you to become his personal assistant.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does that make any sense?
I needed the help to get my kids' insurance. I don't.
Why would he want his
see anything
ex-girlfriend, who he doesn't talk to and he's ghosting, to become his personal assistant?
He talks to his other ex-girlfriends.
No, I
Not
said,
them.
why is he ghosting you but asking you to become his personal assistant?
Because I'm asking him for the favor so that I can.
Right,
have
but at this
insurance.
point, y'all are broken up.
What is
When he
that?
puts you on the Adelson Institute payroll, right?
Why we stayed as friends? We were friends.
Okay, so he put you on the Adelson Institute as a favor to a friend,
Yes.
to their
ma'am.
payroll. Okay. But the other employees of the Adelson Institute, though, they said that, you didn't work there. So
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
why you're saying that you worked remotely, you worked at home. That's your
Yes,
testimony?
ma'am.
Okay. And Charlie Adelson, we hear him in the recording saying, oh, well, you clean the office on the weekends, but you're telling us you actually did not do that,
No, ma'am.
right? Okay. So why didn't you go into the office? Why were you working from home? Like, what was so different about you?
What was so different about me?
Mm-hmm.
My whole purpose was to get insurance for my kids. I didn't like, whenever he asked me to do some stuff, like I would do it. Like I told you, the site, and I can't recall a lot of the things from 2014. That's why I don't know how to really answer your question.
Well, as his remote personal assistant, I mean, what exactly did you do for him? You said earlier you set up appointments for him,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And you looked at rental places for him?
Yes, ma'am. He had owned properties, and like he was telling me to collect from those
Okay.
from the properties.
So
that
let's
he
take
had.
those one by one, setting up
ma'am.
appointments. Did you actually schedule any patients?
No, not scheduled patients on the thing. It's for the site, like his website.
So you did not schedule patients?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What appointments did you set up for him?
No, I can't recall.
Okay, what type of appointments if they weren't scheduling patients?
I can't recall.
You don't know what type of appointments you set
No,
up for
ma'am.
him? Okay, but you did not schedule patients.
Not that I can recall.
So
no.
it wouldn't have been for his work as a dentist.
I'm kind of getting confused about your question.
His work as a dentist was he did dental work on patients,
Yeah, I
right?
can't recall the patients that I've called or which ones I've scheduled back in 2014.
I'm not asking you for specifics. I'm just saying, what type of appointments did you set up for him if you didn't schedule patients? What
I
other
told
types
you
of
I didn't.
appointments?
I didn't do the appointments. I did it for the site. Like his appointments with other things that he needed to do, not for patients in the office.
Okay, so you were not scheduling patients. You were not, this isn't the office website you're talking about?
Yes, the office website.
Okay, what type of appointments are you putting on the office website that are not patients?
He just needed to, to take the pictures for his office, and his website.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was setting up the appointment for.
You set up an appointment for him to get his website done
Yes.
by a company that does websites.
Yes, like my friend that was doing the website, yes.
That is the appointment that you set up
Yes,
for him.
ma'am.
Okay, and that is one appointment you're saying that you set up
I
for
can
him.
remember, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. And so you earned over $800 a month, over $17,000 over the course of a year and a half for setting up one appointment with him one time to get his website set up.
I don't remember all of the specifics of stuff that he's asked me to do.
Okay. That's the only one that you can think
That,
of.
I mean, like right now, yes.
Okay. Well, your defense is that you're not involved in this murder, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said it seems like Charlie Adelson is, obviously, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
And your children's father obviously is too, right? And you're
Yes,
caught in the
ma'am.
middle of it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And if you're collecting money from Charlie Adelson for no legitimate purpose, that looks suspicious. It looks like he's paying you for or keeping you happy for your part in this murder, doesn't it?
No, ma'am.
Okay. If you're doing something to earn those payments, then that no longer would seem suspicious, right?
Well, I just don't understand when it's like, you're talking about like the checks, right?
Right. If you're doing something to earn that money, that would no longer seem suspicious.
I'm not understanding your question.
My question is, you're telling this jury that you
ma'am.
did something you set up some type of appointments for him, but it was not scheduling patients. The only thing that you can tell us today that you ever set up for him, though, is one time you
That I can
called a
recall.
website company to have his website, him to have an appointment with him for them to set up his website. Isn't that true?
That I can recall, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And in that message, that's one of the ones that your attorney showed you, it was an investigator Isom when he was on the stand the other day.
Yes, ma'am.
That was actually in August of 2014. That was a month before you started getting paychecks from the Adelson Institute, wasn't it?
What was the message?
About, hey, I called this person and he'll do your website. That was in August of 2014, wasn't it?
That's what the text message showed.
Okay. So that was before you ever received a paycheck from the Adelson Institute, wasn't it?
July, August,
If August is before
September.
September?
I believe so.
Okay. Did you keep up with his schedule? I mean, you'd have to know his schedule to be able to schedule patients, right? Or to set up appointments for him, I mean?
That's what you keep talking about, like these appointments. I can't remember things that I was doing back in 2014.
I'm not asking
I didn't
any
have like a
specifics.
schedule
Right.
of his like daily activities and stuff, so I would just call him or he would call me if he needed me to do something.
Okay. Did you keep up with him, though, and his schedule in order to be able to make appointments for him?
Keep up with him, like see what his other
Know what's
appointments were.
going on with him. My boss is here today, he's there today, he's on vacation today, he's working this week. You would have to know his schedule in order to be able to set up appointments
I
for
don't
him,
know
right?
his definitive schedule at that time, but I mean, like I told you, he would just text me if he needed me to do something.
Okay, and how often would that be?
I don't recall.
Okay. I mean, you would have some idea. You would have some idea of what's going on with his work schedule if your job that you're getting paid $800 a month for is to set up appointments for him, right?
Like I said, I don't know how often he would text me. Whenever he would text me and he would ask me to do something, then I would do it. It was like odd jobs. It wasn't a specific, oh, call this patient or do this.
Okay. I mean, isn't it true you had no idea what was going on with his schedule to set up any type of appointment for him or his work,
No,
right?
I would just text him and be like, okay, are you going to be free for this, X, Y, and Z if I needed to, but not that I can recall.
I want to ask you about this text from October 2014, which is a month after you started collecting paychecks from the Adelson Institute. You send a message to him where you say, how are you, by the way? How's work? And your love life? Didn't you say that?
That's what the text said.
Okay. The following year, you say, hey, I was going to text you, but I never know if you're on vacation or not at work. Didn't you say that?
That's what the text shows, yes.
The following month, you text him and you say, and this is December in 2015, you're getting text tornadoes from Institute. So how's work? How's your office?
Okay.
So that's you didn't.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you were working as a personal assistant, making that money, only set up the one appointment that you can think of, and you're having to check in with him. How's work? How's your love life? What's going on with you? You're not keeping up with his schedule either, are you?
Like I said, I didn't have his definitive schedule of what he does. If he needs help and he needs to text me and needs me to do something, he'll text me and let me do something.
Well, you also said that you helped him with tenants of his properties.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do with the properties?
He had a couple properties at that time. I don't remember what location or where it is, but he had asked me to collect like the tenant's payment, the monthly payment. And like they had like washers and dryers there too, and like you'd have to open it up and like get like whatever coins are in there.
Okay, so you collected rent from these tenants?
Yes. Do you want me to look?
Just a moment.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you about a prior statement that you made. I just gave you a transcript of that particular day.
Yes, ma'am.
Looking at page 58,
Grab it.
line 22 through 25.
Okay.
Okay. When you were asked in October of 2019, would you be responsible for collecting rent? You said initially he wanted me to try to collect rent, but those tenants were so difficult, so I just didn't do it. Isn't that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you didn't actually collect rent.
No, he wanted me to collect it. Well, obviously here it says that I didn't.
Right. And today, though, you're saying that you did.
I said he wanted to. He wanted me to collect. I don't even remember what I just said.
Right. I
now.
just asked you if you collected rent, and you said you did.
Well-
And that was a lie, wasn't it?
I just said I didn't in this testimony.
Okay. And if you said that you collected rent from him today, and you previously said that you did not collect rent from his tenants, he wanted you to do it, but you never did it. That's a lie, right?
I should have told you to refresh my memory instead of saying that.
Okay. Was that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why did he do this favor for you? To give you over $17,000 over the course of a year and a half from him and his parents' business.
I needed to do it for the insurance for my kids, and I had to put it on a bracket so that I can apply for that.
I understand why you needed it. Why would he do that for you? That's my question.
Because he had a business. He had
Right.
that office.
Right, but you're not doing a service for him though, right? You only set up the one appointment, and you didn't actually collect rent from the tenants. So why would he do this for you if you're not actually earning that money?
Objection, speculation.
Overruled.
I asked him for that favor for the insurance.
I understand why you needed it.
I don't know
My
why he
question
did
is,
it.
why did he do it for you?
I don't know, ma'am.
Isn't it because he's keeping you happy because you did a really big favor for him
No,
in July
ma'am.
of 2014?
No, ma'am.
And you did hang that over his head though sometimes, didn't you?
Hang what over
The fact
his
that
head?
you had done a really big favor for him.
Not that I can recall.
Here, this is part of a conversation you have with him. You say, I know you're busy, but every time I speak too. It's like you have an attitude. I know you're overwhelmed by everything that you're doing. This was in April of 2015. Don't worry about it. I'll just ask him myself. And then you send him a website. And then you say, that's the website. Next time, don't be such a dick to someone who has done something for you. Right?
Okay.
What did you do for him?
I don't know what he was referring to.
I mean, you weren't doing much of anything for him, right? He was the one giving you all this money.
And I told you it was I did the whole purpose for that was for the insurance for my children.
I know, but my point is, he hadn't done anything for you. You were the one he was the one paying you the money. You weren't doing anything for him. He was doing everything for you, right?
He was doing that as a favor for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about here? That's something that you've done for him.
Well, do you have the rest of the text? Because that's just like a portion.
It
of
doesn't
I
say
don't
that
remember.
day. You're just talking about he's being mean to you, and you're saying don't be such a dick to someone who's done something for you.
Yeah, I don't know what I was referring to.
Okay. And that favor, you say it was to get insurance, and you're talking about Medicaid is what you were trying to get?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you get insurance through Medicaid, I mean, the taxpayers are paying for that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. That's all of us,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people need Medicaid. It's a serious thing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But you were getting Medicaid at the same time that you were paying thousands and thousands of dollars in cash for a boob job, right?
Well, I've already saved up for that. That was a long-term, like for the insurance was a long-term for my son because he has a disability.
I understand you said that. But I'm just saying you
know
were
you-
getting Medicaid at the same time that you were paying thousands and thousands of dollars in cash for a boob job, right?
That I've saved up for, yes, ma'am.
Okay. You say you saved up for it, but you had a habit of depositing money into the bank. We saw all your cash deposits by day, and you deposit, I mean, sometimes multiple deposits every day in the bank of different cash in different banks.
Yes, ma'am.
In cash. Okay. So you make all those deposits in cash every day, sometimes at different banks multiple times a day, right?
At different banks at the same day?
Yeah, you deposit a lot of cash in the bank. You do it, sometimes it's not just like a once a month thing. You do it almost daily. Sometimes you do it at multiple different banks in a day.
If that's what the records show, I don't remember what I was doing at that
But
time.
you're saying for this particular breast augmentation, you did not deposit that money. You kept that at home.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it was just all the other money that you had, you deposited in the bank, except for that.
I've already saved up for my breast augmentation.
So that's a yes. You deposited all your other money into the bank except for the cash for the breast augmentation.
Whenever I would have money with me and I would, from working from the club, then I would save up and then I'd deposit whatever I had.
Charlie Adelson, he also gave you other gifts, right? Besides just, that wasn't the only benefit, being on the Adelson Institute payroll. I mean, he paid for a trip to Santo Domingo for you, right?
And the kids?
Okay, and that's the Dominican Republic, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and that was in 2015 after you and Charlie Adelson broke up?
If that's what the record shows, I don't remember what date it was.
Okay. And he also offered to send you and your mom a cruise, right?
Where am I looking
In
at?
October of 2015?
Because I didn't go on a cruise with my mom, so...
Okay. But you're talking to him about he says, where do you want to take your mom? You say, I want to do something for my mom. Let me see if she has days off on Thanksgiving. He says, so I think it would be super cool for you to go, just you and your mom, Friday through Monday on the Norwegian cruise. Does that work for you? Let's look at dates. Right?
I guess so, but I never went on a cruise with my mom, so.
And he says, do you want me to get a cruise for you and your mom in 2015 definitely?
I guess so, but I never went on a cruise with my mom.
Okay, that's not what I asked. He offered to buy you and your mom.
If that's what was on the text,
Okay.
then yes.
He would also give you cash. Sometimes you would text him, ask for help, ask for loans, you needed cash.
If that's what the text says.
Well, he would give you cash, right?
If you can show me the text message.
Okay. In May of 2015, you say, by the way, I have a shitload of things to pay for. I need a little help. His tuition is crap for the summer. I have to stop my weekend job. I hate asking. He says, I'll lend you whatever you need. You say, it's just tight this month. And that's on May 20th of 2015, right?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm sorry. It's loud. Right.
Okay. And then when we look at State's Exhibit 81B, all your daily cash deposits, and a couple of days after that, on May 26th of 2015, you deposit $1,400 in cash, right?
That's what the record shows.
Okay. So you ask him for help, and he gives you cash. Isn't that true?
That's what the records show.
Who is Sully?
That's the mechanic.
Okay. So Sully, and your attorney was asking earlier about a Sully Mech, M-E-C-H. That was in Charlie Adelson or Sigfredo's call list, right?
Yes,
Sully
ma'am.
is a mechanic. Mech is the first four letters of mechanic,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Okay. And how did you find out about Sully?
That was somebody that Charlie used for his mechanic.
Charlie referred you to Sully to fix cars when you were having car trouble, right?
Yeah, when like if the Lexus was having issues or like my Mazda was having issues.
Right. And so you got the Lexus fixed with Sully, right? And your Mazda. Sully
Did I get
fixed.
it?
Sully
Yeah,
fixed.
he's fixed it. He's fixed it before.
Okay. And Sully is the mechanic for Eco-Friendly Shop.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the name of the
Body shop.
the body shop.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you got work done with Sully, Charlie Adelson would pay for it.
No, I believe I paid for the, unless you have a text that shows otherwise, but I paid for payments for the Lexus getting fixed because it kept breaking down on me.
Okay. And your Mazda broke down a couple of times, right?
I believe so, yeah, because
Okay.
I got in a car accident.
At least some of these times, though, Charlie paid for it.
I don't know which times, but if you have the text message for it.
All right. Here in October, he's saying, I just got a call into Sully for you. I just spoke to Sully. It needs to be done. It has to be done in Mazda. He said it should be about $1,200. You're, upset that it's $1,200. He says, I'll pay it for you, smiley face. And that was in October of 2015.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I was trying to read what was like after the text
No
message.
problem. That's after you got back together with Sigfredo Garcia.
Of 2015?
Right.
Yeah, I believe I was already with him.
Okay. And Sigfredo Garcia would drive the Lexus too, right?
Every now and then.
Okay.
We'd switch sometimes.
And whenever the Lexus had a problem, y'all would take it to Sully at Eco-Friendly Shop because that's the mechanic that Charlie had referred to you.
Well, there was also another mechanic that I think I was trying to use for the Lexus, but since Sully's been working on the Lexus, like we've taken it over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's also called in prescriptions for you, right? Charlie has?
Who has?
As a favor?
I
We're talking about the
believe he
favors. We
has.
talked about the trip to Santo Domingo, offering you and your mom a cruise, the car repairs. He also called in a prescription for you, right? Called in prescriptions in the past?
Prescriptions?
Right.
I guess so. I don't recall that, such a long time ago.
Okay. Do you remember him paying for a catered fit meal service for you?
If you can refresh my memory.
You don't remember that?
Can't remember.
All right. And then he also gave you cash. When you would ask him for help or ask him for loans, he would give you cash.
Do you have any text messages that show?
I just showed you the one about...
Well, for that one, yes.
Right. Okay. And those things that I was showing you, all of those things in 2015, that's after you and Charlie Adelson broke up.
I believe so.
And you heard June say, you were here during trial, that after they broke up, they were together for 7 years, he didn't give her any gifts like that. What makes you so special that he's giving you these gifts after he broke up with you?
I think she did mention she was getting gifts from him.
He said a little something, not a trip, cash.
You looked into
car repairs? No, I'm asking
Oh.
you. What was so special about you that he's giving you all these gifts after you broke up?
I don't know, ma'am. I thought you were referring that you had records for her too.
No, I'm asking you why you were so special that he's giving you the gifts. And you don't know?
I don't know.
So not just to keep you happy, keep you quiet?
No.
All right, so we saw in the financial records that you had a big cash spike.
Yes, ma'am.
In August of 2014. Where did this money come from?
Oh, well, it was showing, I believe when Chris was talking about it, there's like jobs that you guys didn't account for.
Where were you working in July of 2014?
I don't know if I was in Fate or Hollywood Live, but I know that like my jobs were, and I've told you before that Sigfredo has given me cash.
Okay. Yindra says you were not at Hollywood Live in July 2014. She said she quit in July 2014 and you had quit 2 months before. So you weren't at Hollywood Live in July 2014, were you?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. And she said, you said actually today, you worked at Fate and then you went to Hollywood Live, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where were you working in
Well,
July 2014?
I believe it was Fate, Hollywood Live, and I think Fate after that, like because there was a little bit of a gap between the Fate and like me being in Fate.
Okay. Where were you working in July of 2014?
I don't recall where I was working.
Okay, so you can't tell us anywhere you were working at that.
Not that I've known.
Okay,
Do you have any records of where I was?
No, I don't. And now I'm asking you, where were you working?
I don't recall. That was back in 2014. I don't recall.
Where did this money come from?
I don't recall where I was working or if Sigfredo gave me money on 2014.
You don't remember whether it was money that you earned or money that he gave you?
No, ma'am.
I mean, this is over twice, $13,200 in August of 2014. That's over twice the amount of money that of the most you've ever deposited before that in those 3 years.
I wish I could remember, but I don't know where from 2014.
Twice as much money, over twice as much money as any other month.
I wish I could remember. I don't even remember what I did yesterday.
You don't remember depositing $13,200 in your account in August of 2014.
No, ma'am.
You don't remember depositing $17,000 from the day of Dan Martel's murder to the end of August 2014.
No, ma'am. When I look at the records that you guys have, it's crazy. Even when I see how you guys put it and make it out to be like on my account.
Wouldn't that be a memorable thing for you if all of a sudden
Exactly,
you got over twice the amount of money you would normally have?
That would definitely be memorable.
I mean, before July of 2014, you hadn't deposited $5,000 even closed since January of 2013, over a year and a half before.
Ma'am, if I wish I knew and I could recall and remember, but I don't.
And then over the course of these 3 months, you've got over 5,000 here, over 13,000 here, over 5,000 again here, and you're saying you have no memory of depositing that money or any idea where it came from.
I don't have a recollection.
And you don't think that's something that you would remember?
I would remember that, but I don't have any recollection of that date. I don't know
I'm
what.
not talking about one specific date. I'm talking about those couple of
I know
months.
you were saying those months, but
Right.
I remember when we were doing the chart, there was jobs that I was working, and I don't remember where I was working, what exact month, and I told you I've gotten cash from Secreto before.
Okay, you can't tell us, though, anywhere you were working in July of 2014.
I can't remember. I can't
Okay,
recall.
and when you're talking about this money from Sigfredo,
Yes, ma'am.
you said he didn't steadily give you cash. It was just whenever he had it, he'd show up with it.
Yes, ma'am.
How much were you making at Fate Nightclub?
I don't recall. You can refresh my memory.
What? You didn't say today. How much did you...
I mean, from my testimony?
Well, how much do you remember making at Fate
I don't
Nightclub?
remember. I don't recall.
How much did you make at Hollywood Live?
I don't recall.
Were you making thousands per night?
I believe I was making more in Fate. I don't know how much exactly. I don't want to commit to like an amount, but I was making more in Fate Nightclub than Hollywood.
Looking at page 36, lines 22 and 23.
Okay.
In your prior testimony, you said that a good night for you, you would walk out of there at $1,000 to $1,500. Isn't that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said that you would work there sometimes 2 times a week? On the next page, page
yeah.
37?
Yeah.
That's what you said back in 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
And you gave that testimony that you would walk out of Fate with between $1,000 and $1,500 a night. And that was before Ramsey Neighbor was a witness in this case. Isn't that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that was before we had Ramsey Neighbor to come in here and say, the club was not successful, it did not work, my employees were not making that much.
It was successful when that was happening, because even like his time frame of like he was talking about like it being a hip hop club and then it became like a trance whatever club, but in hip hop nights we were making a lot of money.
No, he said that his employees made between $200 and $250 a night every time they work. So why are you saying back then that you made $1,000 to $1,500?
Because we were making that much money. We were.
Okay. We have a paycheck from Fate where it says that you made $985 for a whole month of your tips.
Yeah, that was the credit card tips. So
right.
There's whenever you work in the nightclubs, if they pay cash, like whatever the tips are, that's like your money. When it's credit card, then that's when they do like the percentage, and then that's why we got that percentage for the month. Like I guess they added everything up for the whole month.
I understand. Ramsey Neighbor says that 90% of their sales was in credit cards.
No, it wasn't.
It's credit card sales. Well, that's what he testified to, right?
I understand that. That's why we wanted to get those records so that it could show it, but they didn't have the records available.
If you were making $1,500 in cash every night at Club Fate, why were you making only $985 in credit card tips then?
That was the percentage. I can't recall how much the percentage was. So every single time in the month, that they would collect all the percentages from the credit cards. That's the check that we would get.
If you were making $1,500 a night in Club Fate, why were their checks bouncing if they were that successful?
When it's cash, when the patrons pay cash, and it's a hip hop club,
They're paying their cash
Yes.
to the club for the drinks, right?
Yes, and then whatever our tip out is.
I understand that
doesn't
that's money that you can keep. I understand
ma'am.
that. I'm saying, why were your checks bouncing from Fate if you were making $1,500 there every time you worked?
Objection, speculation.
Overruled.
I can't recall why the checks were bouncing.
It's because Fate was not a successful nightclub, right?
It wasn't
They weren't making
successful.
money.
Even on, like, if you look back and you'll see all the events that they had, we would have artists come in there. It was a very successful nightclub.
Okay, so successful that Yendra says that you left because you were not getting paid.
Because of those bounce checks.
Right.
After a while, whenever you work in clubs, there's times where it's like you're making good money and then it'll kind of die out. That's why we switch from place to place.
I understand that, but you're saying that you made $1,500 in cash per night when you worked at
I understand that, yes.
Right. The owner says it did not take off. It was not successful. They made $200 per shift.
I understand what you're saying.
And your checks were bouncing from there, from what
Your Honor, I'm
in your
gonna
bank
ask
records. Isn't that
objection.
true?
Hold on a second.
If she could let the witness finish answering, I'm
All
going to
right,
object to badgering.
let's let the witness finish the answer. Let's ask a question and then go to an answer. All right, I want people talking over each other. What's the question, Ms. Dugan?
Isn't that true?
I'm trying to explain to you that that's why they needed the records, because it will show on the records how much we were making. We were making a lot of money. I worked there.
Okay. Why would you leave Fate then, where you're making so much money, and go to Hollywood Live?
I believe I did both, or one kind of overlapped with the other. I can't quite remember.
You said when your attorney was asking you questions that you worked at Fate and then you left and you went to Hollywood Live, and that's what Yendra said too.
And I believe I went back to Fate after that. I can't fully recall, but I know when I was working in Hollywood Live, I was doing bottle service and I was a bartender, and I was making really good money in Hollywood when I was bartending.
Okay. And Yendra said that she told us how much she made per night.
But Yendra was working as a bottle service in that club.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the same amount of money, and I've already explained that before.
So you were working in as a bartender in
Yes, ma'am.
Hollywood Live? Okay. And how much money were you making a night at Hollywood Live?
I don't recall in that club, but I know that I was making pretty good money, because you can work there throughout the week as well whenever they have events as well.
Was it less than Fate or more than Fate that you were making
As a
at Hollywood
bartender?
Live? Yes, whatever you did at Hollywood Live.
It might be a little bit lower than being a bottle service in Fate, but I can't recall this exact amount.
Well, then why did you leave Fate, where you're making $1,500 a night, to go to Hollywood Live, where you would make less?
And I told you at that time too that sometimes we have peak seasons and it starts dwindling down, so that maybe that's why I went to Hollywood. I can't recall. This was back in 2014.
You said that you were working in liquor promotions. What's the name of the company that you worked for?
I was trying to remember it. You guys didn't pull any records for that either?
You have bank records from Encore Worldwide and CO. Is that where you worked for liquor promotions?
That was way back. That was way back. I did other promotions for, I believe, Absolute. I cannot think
No,
of
what's the name
other
of the
two.
company that you worked for?
I
that would
can't
bring you
recall.
These paychecks?
I can't recall.
Okay, was it Encore Nationwide?
One of them, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that was a liquor promotion company that we have here that you worked for from January to December of 2013?
If that's what's on my records, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then what's CO?
I don't recall.
Okay, so then you stopped liquor promotions in December of 2013.
I don't recall the dates.
You said Encore Nationwide was the business that you
Yeah.
worked for? Okay, so then if your last paycheck is in December of 2013, that's when you stopped liquor promotions, right?
If that's what's on your records, I just know that I worked for another liquor promotion, but I don't know if it was Encore as well.
And you said that in certain liquor stores, the owner would allow you to get tips when you handed out drinks.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that you think at the time they gave you paychecks. That's what you said?
At the time, maybe. I honestly cannot recall from 14 at that time too?
2013, yeah.
2013, I can't.
I'm asking you about what your attorney asked you. When you were working at Liquor Promotions, though, you said just sometimes you would get tips if the owner allowed that to happen of
Yes,
the liquor
ma'am.
store.
If that's what I had said, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, today, you said that this 2014, this cash spike was from your nightclub work and then from Sigfredo Garcia. How much of it was from Sigfredo Garcia?
I can't recall the amount.
You don't remember?
No, ma'am. When you were showing me that chart, I'm telling you, I wish I could remember. I don't remember because you're asking me exact amounts and where I worked and names I can't remember.
He didn't provide you much money that often, right? It wasn't like a steady thing.
And not that I can recall, no.
So
I mean, it's whenever I guess he will come up on something, then he would give it to me.
If he showed up and handed you $5,000, $10,000, $13,200, that's something that you would remember, right? That never happens.
It's not that it never happens. I told you like it would happen. I don't know the exact amount that he would give me. I don't want to commit to an amount that you're trying to tell me. I can't remember back in 2014.
In your prior testimony, you said that he did not, and I'm looking at page 60, lines 18 through 25. You said that he did not steadily give you cash. He did not have a set date that he'd give you anything. Sometimes he would, you were asked, was there ever a time when he'd come to you and your attorney asked, well, would you consider $1,000 a significant amount of cash? You said yes. Would then he give you a significant amount of cash? And you said yes. So you never said in that prior statement that he gave you anything more than $1,000.
Which page number again?
Page
I'm
60.
sorry. 60 and in which line?
Lines 18 through 25.
I just said that there wasn't like a set amount that he had to give me anything.
Right.
It would be whatever he had.
Your attorney asked, did he give, would you consider $1,000 a lot if he would give you $1,000? And you said yes. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so $1,000, him coming and giving you $1,000, that would be a lot from him.
From my testimony, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so if he came and gave you $5,000 in July or October, or $10,000 or $13,000 in August, that would be very abnormal.
It wouldn't be abnormal. It would just, you're trying to say if I could remember that amount?
No, I'm saying that before you said $1,000 have been a significant amount.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if he was giving you more than that, that's something that you would remember. That would be significant, right?
Yes, that would be a significant amount.
But you don't remember. You have no idea.
Remember.
Isn't it true that the reason that you move on? I want to ask you about this night at Yardbird you told us about.
Yes, ma'am.
In your prior testimony, did you have any indication that Sigfredo Garcia knew you were at dinner there, or knew that you had gone there for dinner?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so Sigfredo Garcia didn't say anything to you that would lead you to believe that he knew you were at dinner.
Yeah, that was the first time I mean, not the first time this time around, but I heard it through the trial.
Okay. So you had no indications that he knew that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And the whole July 1st jet ski incident, that was, you said, the same day as the voicemail to Harvey Adelson from Charlie Adelson?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry, from Sigfredo Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so with this wire, Charlie Adelson gets contacted by his mom. She says she was given paperwork, which turns out to be this article about the murder. She says this TV probably cost $5,000. You agree with me that TV sounds like their code for this murder, right?
Rejection, lack of personal knowledge.
Overruled if you know.
I don't know, ma'am.
Then Donna Adelson tells Charlie that it has to do with the two of them, and the man mentioned an ex-girlfriend, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then Charlie calls you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why did he call you?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
No, ma'am. I don't know if that's before or after, or when he spoke to his mom, or when they mentioned my name, or when he said ex-girlfriend. Like, it's been going round and round. I'm confused myself.
Okay, and you said that in your last testimony, I'm looking at page 154, lines 4 through 9.
Which lines, ma'am?
154,
Uh-huh.
lines 4 through 9.
Yes, I was saying that I'm his last ex-girlfriend.
That's what you said in 2019, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That you were his last ex-girlfriend.
Yes, to my knowledge, yes.
We've had testimony during this trial, though, that he's had several girlfriends since you dated, though,
Yeah.
between that and the bump, right?
Yeah, but I was explaining here that I'm his last ex-girlfriend. Like, he was dating June, I think, at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know about Whitney, so I was his last ex-girlfriend.
You didn't know about Whitney?
No, I heard about it now.
Wasn't that like his first serious girlfriend after you and him broke up?
I don't know. That's why I'm getting confused, because I'm learning so many things from here that I don't know when I knew that was his girlfriend, or I knew of that girlfriend. I know about June because she testified over here.
Okay, I mean, you knew that he was talking to lots of girls
Yes, ma'am.
and dating lots of girls.
Yes, ma'am.
And you would actually chastise him in the messages about like him dating so many girls, moving them into his house, letting them drive his cars, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you would check in with him about these girls. You would say, you know, are you still talking to this girl, right?
I might have mentioned it, but just to say it, you'd have to show me.
Okay. In December of 2015, you say, are you still talking to the lame chick, the girl who's hot and is really not? And he says, yes, or I'm still seeing her?
Yeah, but I don't know which one that is.
Okay. I guess my point is, you know that you knew that you were not his last ex-girlfriend.
To my knowledge, I was his last ex-girlfriend because he was dating June.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really know. I didn't know about Whitney. I don't know if I've learned it from trial, but I was his last ex-girlfriend. If he was dating June and he dated me, I'm his last ex-girlfriend.
Well, by your own admission, in the Wiretap call, you say you've had 1 million ex-girlfriends, right?
I understand that, but I'm saying I'm his last ex-girlfriend. We're talking about this.
Right, but you and him had broken up in the fall of 2014, and this bump is in the spring of 2016, right? You'd been together with Sigfredo Garcia again for a year at that point, at the time of the bump.
At that point, okay.
Right. He had dated tons of girls in between that, right?
I believe so.
Okay. You were not his last ex-girlfriend then.
But I'm saying from the timeline from June, like June, the girl June.
Right.
I was his last ex-girlfriend. We were talking about it in here. Like, you're talking about wasn't this from the
That was
bump?
from October of
From the bump, though?
the
Like,
transcript you're looking at is from October of 2019 when you say you were his last ex-girlfriend at the time of the bump. That's what you said last time was the reason that he called you when an ex-girlfriend was mentioned.
But
and
that's
you-
what I'm saying. But you're talking about a specific date on this, what's going on right now, too. This is not on the 19th. This is the transcripts from the 19th.
Right. I'm saying, though, that you knew you were not his last ex-girlfriend. Isn't that true?
I'm confused because I'm saying that I was his last ex-girlfriend. What are you talking
Okay.
about from when we were talking in Dolce Vita?
Right. So you
Okay.
thought that you were his last ex-girlfriend.
Objection,
before-
ask and
I'm
answer.
so,
No, Judge.
So you can ask it one more time.
Yes,
and
sir.
that's it.
You believe you were his last
Yes,
ex-girlfriend
ma'am.
before the bump, and that's the reason he called you?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And he called you because he wanted you to deal with this for him, right?
I don't know if this is the reason why he had mentioned my name and why he wanted me to call.
Okay, well, even before, though, that you knew your name was mentioned, you were willing to help him with the problem, right?
I was listening to him. I don't know at that moment if I was saying that I was willing to help him.
Okay, I want you to look at that same page, 154, lines 17 through 19. In 2019, you said, before your name was mentioned, you were willing to help him with that problem.
I said yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're asked by Charlie Adelson to call this number. You don't know why he's asking you to do this, other than you're his last ex-girlfriend. And then the person that you get to call the number, coincidentally, just happens to be the shooter of the crime that Charlie Adelson thinks he's being blackmailed for, right?
I mean, can you ask your question one more time?
You were asked by Charlie Adelson to call this number
Yes.
on the article.
Yes.
You got someone else to do that for you, right?
Yeah, I asked Sigfredo to do it.
Fredo. So you coincidentally get the person who was the shooter of this crime that Charlie Adelson's being blackmailed.
I mean,
right?
I was just asking Sigfredo to call the number.
Okay, and just coincidentally, he's the shooter.
I didn't even know about any of that until the trial.
Okay, so that is a coincidence.
In your opinion, I believe so.
All right. No, I don't think it's a coincidence. I'm saying you're saying that that's a coincidence. You didn't actually have anything to do with it.
No, ma'am.
And you didn't actually know what it was about or who you were getting to call for that reason, anything.
No, ma'am. Other than the fact that they said Katie and Tuto.
Yeah, and when Charlie Adelson told you that his mom said it has to do with Tudo and Tato, why didn't you say, you know exactly who that is, Charlie? Tudo is Sigfredo.
No, he was saying it in different ways, and then that's why I never corrected him. I know, like, they've asked me about that before. I didn't know that I had to correct him and say, well, you know him.
Mm-hmm.
You know the father of my kids. Like, why are you saying the name different?
And he said that, though, multiple times. He said, I don't even know who Tudo is. He said that on the phone, and he said that in Dolce Vita, didn't he?
On the phone, I think I heard it, but on the Dolce Vita, I don't remember.
And you just didn't correct him, just didn't ask why
I
he was
just
acting like
didn't.
he didn't know who Tudo was.
That's the whole reason why I'm even in here, because I wasn't asking the questions.
Why don't you ever mention Garcia's name to Charlie Adelson?
Why don't I ever mention his name?
Right.
Like the Tuto?
No, why don't you ever say Tudo or Garcia to Charlie Adelson? Why do you just say he this, he that?
I never mention his name to him.
Right. Why not?
I just don't. Like, I'm not going to be like saying, I don't know. I didn't.
Why don't you ever mention Charlie's name to Sigfredo Garcia?
I've always referred to him like my friend, or vice versa. Like, I always say my friend. I don't think they want to hear about each other's name whenever I'm mentioning them.
So whenever you talk to Garcia about Charlie Adelson, you always say that person or my friend.
Or my friend, yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you called him and were talking to him about that person, how does he know who you're talking about?
Did I ever message him saying that person?
In the wiretap call, yeah. You're talking to Sigfredo Garcia and referring to Charlie as that person.
I don't recall.
Why don't you just say Charlie?
I never mentioned either one of their names because, I don't know, I just didn't.
I mean, isn't the reason, though, that you never say their names is because you were all afraid that law enforcement might be listening?
Well, apparently everybody had a burner phone, so why would anybody even be talking on the phone?
Charlie called you. Charlie said that he wanted the problem flushed. That problem was this bad guy that was
Objection,
trying...
that's not in evidence.
Overruled.
That was trying to extort his mom?
That was a joke.
Okay. But he wanted you were the person that he wanted to take care of this problem, right?
Yes, because somebody mentioned my name. We've
Right.
gone over this.
Out of all the people in the world, though, he chose you. And you're saying that,
Because they mentioned my name.
okay, today...
And Tuto's name. And then mentioned Tato's name. So yeah, that's why I was confused.
All right, what happened in the car before y'all went to Dolce Vita?
I don't even recall that. That's what I was asking when they said that there's a 10-minute meet up in a car. Like, where's that video or where's that?
Did he search you for a wire?
You're talking
Charlie
about
Adelson.
Charlie?
Yeah.
No, because I don't even recall that happening.
All right. When did you find out that Dan Markel was murdered?
I believe I found that when Sigfredo got arrested.
Okay, so that was the first time that you'd ever heard of Dan Markel, his brother-in-law, being murdered.
Yes, ma'am.
Charlie Adelson never told you that.
No, ma'am.
And you and him talk all the time.
Not all the time. You'll see the phone records. It shows.
I've seen them, and y'all talk all the time.
You were just telling me earlier that like our conversation stopped, like dwindled down.
No, I was
within
saying
those-
that you said that he was ghosting you.
Okay.
Okay. You and Charlie Adelson talk all the time, right?
I guess so.
Okay. And when Sigfredo, I mean, he never mentioned to you that Dan Markel had been murdered.
No, ma'am.
What was it that you thought he was saying that made national news, BBC News, Good Morning America?
What
What's
was
he
who?
talking-
What was who saying?
What was Charlie Adelson talking about? What made
I
national
don't know. I
news?
didn't even know what BBC was.
You know what Good Morning America is,
Yes,
though, right?
I know that, but I didn't. It wasn't anything that was like popping out. He never mentioned Dan Markel. He never mentioned Tallahassee. He never mentioned anything about a murder. Those things would stick out.
Right. I would think that they would.
But he didn't talk about that. I'm telling you. And
Why didn't you ask? I mean, what was on Good Morning America? What was on national news?
I don't remember what happened. I mean, we have the whole video, and it didn't
Right, but
even
then
pick up anything
he
I
would have explained
said.
to you what he was talking about.
He didn't explain anything. He was saying scenarios.
Okay. In the Dolce Vita video, he's saying it's either somebody trying to blackmail his family or it's the cops working undercover.
Yes,
Why
ma'am.
would it be the police? Why would the police be investigating his family?
I don't know.
Why isn't your first question, why in the world would the cops be running an undercover investigation on your family?
I don't even know if I ever mentioned that. I don't know. Don't remember what happened in 2014.
Looking at page 155, lines 3 through 11. You were asked, why would it be the cops? On page 155, lines 3 through 11. You were asked why it would be the cops. You said, I don't know, because he's always talking about the cops. You were asked, but didn't you ask him why the cops would be running an undercover operation on his mother? And you said, no, ma'am.
So I didn't ask.
Right. You didn't ask. Why wouldn't you ask? Why would the cops be running an investigation on your family?
I don't know. That's the whole reason of why he was meeting up with me, because he doesn't even know what was going on. Now I see that he did.
Right. I mean, we're not talking about him, though. I'm saying you didn't ask why the cops would be running an undercover investigation on his family, did you?
Hold on.
No, ma'am.
What's your-
Okay.
And this may be the third time objection asked and answered.
All right, that was asked and answered.
Okay.
Let's move on.
I want to ask you about this Dolce Vita video.
Yes, ma'am.
If you need more volume, it's right here. If you need more volume, okay? Your number is on the headset. Okay, just tell me.
Everybody ready? Yes. Ow. All right, so Charlie Adelson says in that clip.
Objection, Judge, as to what Charlie Adelson said?
Overruled. This is, she can give her interpretation. It's up to the jury to decide, but she can ask the question.
When he says at the very beginning of that clip, if they had any evidence, we'd already be gone to the airport by now.
Objection.
What did you
Judge.
understand?
I didn't hear that.
Overruled.
I didn't even hear anything that the recording was saying.
You didn't hear
Like
any of that?
I didn't hear anything that you, like the line that you just said, I did not hear that on the recording.
When that recording started, you didn't hear him say, if they had any evidence, we would have already gone to the
No,
airport
ma'am.
by now. So you had no idea of what he was talking about, evidence of what?
I don't know, ma'am.
If he did say that, what evidence of what?
I wouldn't know. I don't know what I said.
Okay, so in the next statement, when he's saying if they bug your phone, you're still not talking about any of this? I mean, what are you not talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about.
You couldn't hear anything that he said.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Maybe my volume wasn't up high enough. Maybe I should try that one again. Let's try it one more time. You're at the beginning of the clip that time when he says if we had any evidence, we would have already gone to the airport by now?
The only thing I caught was bugged phone.
Okay.
I didn't hear anything in the beginning.
If he had said to you, If they had any evidence, we'd already be gone to the airport by now. What was he talking about? Evidence of what?
I have no idea. I told you he was saying scenarios, and I can't remember what he was talking about at that time.
So he wouldn't have been trying to ease your mind, let you know if this is the cops, they don't have anything on us?
No?
When he says, even if they bug your phone, and at the end he says, you still have not been talking about this. What have you not been talking about on your phone?
I didn't hear anything that said anything about me not talking on the phone.
When he was talking about even if they bug this, even if they bug your phone,
okay.
At the end of the clip, he says you still have not been talking about this. So even if your phone is bugged, you're still not talking about this. But is he implying
to me like he might have been saying scenarios? You guys keep taking things out of context, and it's not. I don't even know. I can't answer that question if I don't know the whole thing.
Okay, so I'm telling you what I'm hearing on here, and I'm asking you about it.
What you're hearing?
Judge, that's improper.
All right, I don't want to get argumentative. You've already asked and answered that question. Let's move on.
You never went to Tallahassee, did you?
No, ma'am.
And you never shot anybody, did you?
No, ma'am.
I want to play the next clip for you. He's telling you there that you have to be able to put the person at the scene at the time in order to prove a crime. You can't just say, oh, my brother did it, or oh, I shot JFK. You've got to have evidence. That's what he's telling you, right?
Okay.
That's what he's telling you, right?
I mean, that's what it said on the recording.
What is he talking about?
I have no idea. That's what I'm telling you. He keeps talking in scenarios. I don't know what he's talking about.
Right, and last time when you testified in 2019, you said that he was just talking in scenarios. You didn't have any specific memory about what?
Exactly.
Right?
I didn't remember anything specific.
Right. Your attorney asked you today whether if last time you explained what was in the Dolce Vita video. Yes, what you explained was that you remember him talking about scenarios. You didn't know what they were. You didn't have any specific memory of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you don't know why he's letting you know that, hey, in order to prove a crime, they have to put the person at the scene of a crime. You don't know why.
I don't know why.
In that one, he tells you, if this person went to the cops, they're going to be asked, well, where's the weapon? Did you witness it? No, you just heard a rumor? Well, that's worth 0. You have to get them on a wire. You have to get the person to confess. Outside of that, there's no evidence. That's what you heard, right?
Parts of it, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And he's saying, right, that if you guys all keep quiet, no one's going to have any evidence of you, right?
I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't know what he was talking. He's saying scenarios over and over.
Why is he talking to this about this with you?
I don't know.
What is he saying the cops aren't going to have evidence of?
I have no idea.
You had no clue.
No.
And you didn't ask either, did you? That's your
I
testimony?
don't remember what we were talking about, or if I asked. I mean, I hear myself responding, but
Right, but you did say that you never asked why the cops would be running this undercover investigation, right?
I believe so.
Okay. You were in this Prius that Garcia and Rivera rented for the July trip to Tallahassee. You were in it at some point, right?
No, ma'am.
You never sat in it?
Never sat there.
Never rode with Garcia just to get food or something?
No, ma'am.
All right. The father of your children was in that Prius, though, right?
Well, with the picture that they've showed, you see, yeah, he was in that Prius.
Okay. And in this video, Charlie Adelson is giving you examples of how just because a person was in a car that someone used to commit a crime, that doesn't mean anything, right?
On what video?
On the Dolce Vita video.
I don't recall that part.
Okay. Let's listen to 2 more clips. Got one more. So here, in those 2 clips we listened to, he was saying you have to be able to put the person at the scene at the time, not in the car. Let's say you sat in the car, right? Then I go commit a crime, but your DNA is in there, and I said Katie was in my car and she did this horrible crime. Okay, they get your DNA in the car, and okay, Katie was in the car. No, that means Katie sat in the car for 2 minutes and got out. Katie has nothing to do with me robbing Burger King. That's what you heard, right?
Parts of it, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then he gives you another rental car example. He said if you have a car and you can link this person to renting that car that's used at the scene of the crime, you also have to prove who was driving that day. You know, they could have rented it and lent it to a friend. Then he gives you another one, doesn't he? He says, you rent a car and I asked to borrow it. I drive to Orlando, rob a McDonald's, and come back. Yeah, you rented it, but you were out. You didn't even know I took your car. Isn't that what you heard?
Parts of it, yes.
Why is he giving you so many rental car examples?
I wish I knew. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's saying scenarios. Don't you think it's kind of odd? Why is he saying all those scenarios in front of other people or whatever? If, like, apparently, if he thought that I was, what did you say earlier, that I'm wearing a wire?
No, I think that he didn't think you were wearing a wire. I think he thought that y'all were in a loud restaurant, and he's trying to ease your mind. And he's saying to you, right, that he's saying...
But why is he keeps explaining himself, like, and he says, I don't have anything to do with it. Why is he trying to convince me that he has nothing to do with it when I don't know what he's...
I'm going to stop.
I'm sorry.
Okay, she's going to ask the questions and you're going to respond, okay?
He is trying to ease your mind because the car that Garcia and Rivera rented to drive up here and kill Dan Markel had been on the news, right?
I don't know of that.
You were nervous that police might be able to connect them to having rented it or been in that car, weren't you?
Why would I be nervous? I never even knew of it.
You never knew that the car was on the news?
I knew from when Sigfredo got arrested, and I think they put a picture of that, of the Prius.
He was trying to tell you in that video that it doesn't matter if they rented a certain car or were seen in a certain car. Police have to be able to put them at the scene of the crime at the time, right?
That's what he had said on the video, but I don't know what he was talking about.
So he's just talking about that. You have no
He's
idea why.
giving different scenarios.
Okay. One of the scenarios he gave was, he said, you know, it could be the cops, you know, trying to run an undercover investigation, or it could be somebody trying to blackmail his family. That was the other scenario, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did he think somebody would be extorting money from his family?
I don't know. That's what he was trying to figure out.
Wouldn't you be curious as to why someone was trying to blackmail his family?
Would I be curious?
Right.
I was curious. That's why I sat there and I listened.
Right. But you never asked him, why would somebody be trying to blackmail your family? Why are the cops doing this investigation on your family?
I don't know if I asked them at that time or not, because apparently
you said in
they didn't
2019
even.
you did not, right?
Well, apparently then I don't because I don't recall. But if that video said, or like it picked up anything that I was saying, then I would know what I was talking about.
Well, you said in 2019 that you did not
Okay, so
ever
then I
ask that,
don't.
right? And now, though, the video is audible, right? And it's pretty obvious you would have known what was going on in order to
Objection
listen
to
to all this.
characterization
Oh,
of the
that's,
evidence.
all right. Ask a question, Ms.
Yes, sir.
Dugan.
All right, let's listen to one more. About 12, 15 seconds in there, you heard him say that, you know, if this was somebody blackmailing his family, this is somebody who knows information. That's what he said to you, right?
If that's what it said on the video.
Is that what you heard? That this is someone
No,
who
all I
knows
heard, I
information?
heard a little bit in the end, but I didn't hear the first sentence, like what you were just saying right now.
What is he talking about that these people know information about?
I don't know. Keep telling you, I don't even remember.
Okay. Got one more.
No, she doesn't say nothing.
So in that clip, he's saying if this is a bad guy, there's two ways of dealing with it. We can go ahead and call the police. They'll contact him, arrange a setup, take him down. But then he'll be telling everything he knows, or else he's going to serve 10 years in prison. And the next thing you know, that person's singing, and he's going to start calling your name out. And my parents are going to have to say, they're going to be asked the story of what happened. Isn't that what you heard?
I didn't hear that, like not all of everything that you're saying, but like I said, I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, you heard him say at the end of that clip that they're going to be calling your name out, that
My
blackmailer.
name?
Right.
No, I did not hear that.
With this bad guy who knows he's going to tell the cops information, why would he be calling your name out?
I don't know.
All right, got one more.
Bless you.
So in that clip, after he explains that this bad guy could tell information to the police, could call your name out, he says, this is my idea. And he gives you very precise instructions, doesn't he? In that
Yeah,
clip.
he was talking about the calling to say it's, yeah.
He told you to say, my friends have no idea what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't know what you're talking about either, but the name sounds familiar of who's incarcerated.
Yes, ma'am.
Whose name did he think sounded familiar?
I believe it's because his mom got bumped and said that you have to help your friend's Tato or something.
Right.
Like your brother Tato? I don't know. He's talking about Tato or Tuto.
Okay. The name Tato and Tuto were familiar to you.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And you never had to tell him who Tuto and Tato were. He knew and you knew. Right?
I don't know if he knew. Well, yeah, he did. He knew Tuto's name.
Okay.
I don't know about Tato.
Tato was the one who was incarcerated, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you knew that.
I knew he was incarcerated by the feds, but I don't know where he was at.
All right, and he said, so I'm going to give you something as charity to help the less fortunate, but do not contact these people again or they're going to the police. The only reason we're doing it is because of karma. And the whole time that you're talking, this is what he's telling you to do, right?
Okay.
He wants you to say, I don't know what's going on, and only use the words help and charity, right?
Okay.
He really didn't want you to give this guy any information about what you knew, did he?
Didn't want to give who?
He really didn't want you to give this blackmailer any information about what you knew, right? He's saying, don't say anything else, right?
No, he's trying to convince me now. How many times I've listened to it, he's trying to convince me to do this. If I was in any way, shape, or form in this with him, why would he throw me to the cops and tell me to say this?
Because you were the ex-girlfriend who took care of this problem for him. You are his connection to these people. He wants you to take care of it.
No, they mentioned my
Right.
name. They mentioned Tuto's name.
Right.
And then they mentioned about a brother being incarcerated, which was Tato.
I know. And then he starts
So-
talking about Sigfredo Garcia right after that clip, right? That we just heard. He starts talking to you about Sigfredo Garcia, doesn't he?
Refresh my memory. Like, what was
Charlie
he
Adelson
saying?
starts talking to you about Sigfredo Garcia, doesn't he?
I don't know who he was talking about.
Okay. In that clip we just heard, he's saying now he's fucking with him, he's fucking with his wife. If he's fucking with the king himself, you better kill him because he's going to be a big problem. He knows who you are. And if he can't do it, have someone else do it. Right?
Yeah, but he's not talking about Tuto there. Like, where?
He's not?
No.
Okay. Well, let's keep listening, but one second. He's telling you, though, in that part that I just talked about, how mad Garcia needs to be about this, right? Some guy is messing with you, putting your name out there as part of this, and you need to kill him or he's going to be a big problem. He either needs to do it or have somebody else do it, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he's talking about Sigfredo there.
Okay. When he says that to you, why don't we see you jumping up from the table? Why don't we see you raising your voice saying, whoa, kill? What are you talking about? We don't...
Yeah, I would have said something like that, but I didn't even know what you're saying about kill. Obviously, I didn't react that way because it wasn't something that's like...
Well, you heard him say he better kill him or he's going to be a big problem. Either he can do it or have someone else do it. You heard him say that, right?
Part of it, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you didn't jump out and run out of there?
No.
Okay. You didn't raise your voice and start, whoa, I'm not being a part of anything like this, did you?
No, but if he's like saying scenarios and he's talking about stuff, like I'm probably not even, like it's nothing that like made me like, oh my God, like what are you talking about? Like, why are you even talking, period?
Charlie said, so help me God, if they fuck with my family, it's going to be Nazi shit. This will be done. I mean, Katie, I don't care what I have to spend. I swear to God. Mm-hmm. He's telling you that he needs this guy killed and he doesn't care what he has to spend. That's what he's saying, right?
Overruled.
I mean, if that's what he's saying, I can't say what he was stating it for.
What did you understand him to mean when he said that?
Charlie's always talking about different, you've heard people say that he's always talking about some weird stuff. Like that's not something that like, oh, somebody's messing with his family. I get that. And somebody's trying to blackmail his mom or whatever, but it's not to the point where I was like, you know, like it didn't make me like, whoa.
I have one question. He said to you, you better kill him or he's going to be a big problem. If he can't do it, have someone else do it. And he didn't care what he had to spend, right?
Objection, asked and answered.
That's been asked and answered.
You seem pretty calm when he's saying this to you. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I don't know how my demeanor was. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't like, whoa, like I didn't run out and jet out of there.
Had he said that to you before? Like when he wanted his brother-in-law killed?
Said what? He's never
spoken
about...
He wanted someone killed. He didn't care how much he had to spend to do it.
No, ma'am. He's never spoken about Professor Markel or murder or having anything to do with that. That's why it didn't raise anything to me.
I want to show you one thing. Just going to make this screen. So this is the same clip we've been listening to, and I've been pausing this one. Let's keep listening and see who he was just talking about. So right after he's telling you he needs somebody killed, he doesn't care what he has to spend, 30 seconds after that, he's checking in with you about Sigfredo Garcia. He says at 6 minutes and 57 seconds in that clip, he knows I have you on salary. You think he'd be happy to know that.
I didn't hear that.
You did
About
not
a
hear
salary
that?
or nothing, no.
He says he doesn't have any bad feelings towards me, does he? Our paths never crossed.
That I can assume that maybe he was talking about Sigfredo.
Right. He says, I didn't know the two of you would be working out. He's talking about Sigfredo there.
I believe so. Like with what he's saying at that part, yes.
Right after, from what we just talked about, he's saying this guy needs to be killed. If he can't kill him, find somebody else to do it. He's going to be a big problem. He's fucking with me. He's fucking with his wife, right?
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled.
He's talking about Garcia right after that.
I don't know if he was talking about Garcia.
You
He's
just-
talking about Garcia now that the part that where you're saying that, oh, our paths never crossed or whatever. I can assume he's talking about Sigfredo, but at that time, I don't think he's talking about kill and all of this and saying that it was him. Why didn't he just say his name?
You do admit, though, he's talking to you about Garcia right after he's telling you that he needs to have someone killed, and if he can't do it, find someone else who can do it.
Objection, asked and answered.
Asked and answered.
All right, so what he's trying to do when he's checking in is, does he have any bad feelings towards me? I have you on salary. You think he'd be happy about that? He's trying to make sure that Garcia doesn't have a reason not to help you with this, right?
I didn't hear anything about the salary and
He's saying
keeping me happy.
there was no overlap in us dating. I keep you on the payroll, right?
I'm not gonna say yes to that because I don't believe that that's what.
So was he checking with you in
It's
that clip
about-
we just heard to see if Garcia had any bad blood against him?
Not at that part, no, ma'am.
All right. Next, after he tells you what he needs done. He's checking with you about Garcia. Then about 20 seconds later, he says to you, you know it. I don't have to sit here and tell you what I would do for you. I show you what I do for you. You know how I am. I look for things to do.
What's your objection?
It's motions in limine, Judge, just in terms of Ms. Dugan's interpretation of what is being
Right.
said.
It's going to
The
be up to the
evidence
jury
speaks
to
for itself.
decide. That's overruled.
Isn't that what he said?
Keep going, ma'am.
He's saying, I look for things to do for you. You don't have to ask me for shit. I'm the one that's like, hey, someone's birthday's coming up. I got you, right?
That's what he said, yes.
Okay. Just like when he's offering to send you and your mom on a cruise, right?
Well, he offered it, but like I told you, I never went on a cruise with my
Paying
mom.
for the Dominican vacation, right? He looks for things to do for you
Okay,
to keep you happy.
I guess.
When you were with Charlie Adelson, you were sleeping with both Charlie Adelson and Garcia at the same time, right?
I mean,
They
I
weren't
can't-
aware of each other. I mean, they knew of each other, but they didn't know you were with both of them at the same time, right?
not that I was, I mean, it might have overlapped, but I don't remember that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't remember if it was at the
Charlie
same
Adelson
time.
didn't know that there was any overlap.
That he didn't know? I don't know what he knew.
Okay, well, he told you we didn't have any overlap.
Oh, with the, from the video?
Right. And you tried to keep them separate. That was something that you did when you were with Charlie, right? You tried to keep Garcia separate from him?
Well, I didn't think they'd like each other.
Right. Garcia was jealous of Charlie.
I believe so.
We heard Charlie say he helps you out when it's somebody's birthday. Who's he talking about?
I have no idea. I don't know if he's talking about Sigfredo, because I know there was a comment about like some GoPro or whatever, but
When's Garcia's birthday?
the 27th of April.
Of April? Okay. So is he talking about getting Garcia birthday presents?
Not to my knowledge. I don't know. I'm assuming maybe that's what he's talking about, but
Why would he get Garcia a birthday present?
he always jokes about stupid things like that.
Why would he get his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend a birthday present?
I wouldn't know, but he'd make jokes like that before, just like the GoPro, but he never got him a GoPro camera or whatever it was.
After your discussion about Garcia, he checks in on Garcia's gang connections, right? See if those are still there?
Who checks in?
Charlie Adelson.
Checks in.
Objection. That's
He's
not
never
in
been in a
evidence,
gang.
Overruled.
Okay,
Garcia's not in a gang.
let's listen to another minute. Oh, sorry, one second. All right. So when I first started that clip, he said, I don't think they want to mess with his connections. And he says, is he so far removed? Does he still have people? Does he have anybody that he can call up that's, right?
I didn't even.
You didn't hear
I'm
that?
trying to like hear what he's saying, and I didn't hear that.
Okay. He then says to you at the end of that clip, listen, you giving money to somebody is not an admission of any kind of guilt.
I heard that part.
Guilt of what?
I don't know.
What would you be guilty of?
Exactly. I don't know.
Well, then why is he saying that to you?
I don't know.
What did you understand it to mean?
I don't know. I can't interpret what it was happening at that time. Like, I don't know what it means.
He was saying that because you were concerned that giving this $5,000 would make you look guilty, right?
That it would make me look guilty?
Yeah.
If that's your assumption, but I didn't do any of that.
All right, I have two more very quick ones. We're almost done.
Yeah, I'm just going to object to the state's little subtitle.
All right, it's coming on.
Yes, I'm going to object to the state using any demonstrative or anything that has their work product or their opinion on it.
All right, that's overruled. It was just your identification. It meant nothing to the jury. It came up on the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. He says, let me ask you a question. When everybody was there the next day, did any of you take any money? It's not like you're driving around in a Bentley, cruising around in a mega yacht. You heard that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you understand that to mean?
I don't know, but now it kind of makes sense with everything that, like with other people saying it about the money, but nobody ever got money. I don't know what.
When he said when everybody there was there the next day, what day is he talking about?
I don't know.
Isn't he saying when everybody, you, Tudo, Tato, were together the next day after the murder when you gave them the money? None of you took it and did anything extravagant, right? None of y'all
I
were
guess that's what it's assuming. That's what it makes it look like to be.
Okay.
I see it now.
He's checking to see y'all weren't too flashy with this that would draw attention to you, right?
Okay.
Objection, mischaracterization of the evidence.
Overruled. In the form of a question next time the student.
Okay. Did you ask him what that meant?
I don't recall if I did or if I didn't.
Okay. Let's listen to the end of that clip and then I'll go straight into the very last one. At the end of that conversation in that last clip, he says, you know who this is coming from? The inside. What did you understand that to mean?
I didn't understand what he was talking about. He keeps saying it has nothing to do with me. He's giving scenarios and you're misinterpreting it, and I can't remember because that was from 2014.
Okay. I didn't ask. Did you hear him say, you know who this is coming from, the inside?
He's saying that, but he's not saying it toward, like, he's not implying me directly.
What did you understand that to mean?
I didn't know.
Okay. So not the inside circle, you, him, Tato, Tudo, of who knew how this murder went
that's
down?
what I'm saying. You keep implying these things, and that's not, you're taking it out of context, and I know that looks bad now with everything that we've been hearing, but it's obviously it didn't make me like, oh my God. Like I said, I didn't run out of there and think it was a big deal.
I mean, he chose you for a reason, though, right? You were the person that he chose to take care of this. I mean, I know you're saying you don't know today, but we heard you on the Wiretap call. In that call, you say, I fuck up bitches for no reason. You say, this guy is going to have a big-ass problem. I am the wrong person to, God forgive him that he said the wrong fucking name. Now this is my business. You said that, right?
Yes, ma'am, and that's taken out of context as well.
Well, you were
I was angry by that, yeah.
I'm sure you were angry. You were pretty tough in those calls, though. You were somebody who knows how to take care of things, somebody who people shouldn't mess with, weren't you?
You should have played all the other calls as well. You just, one little call that I was so upset already. He's been annoying me with this different scenarios
right.
for all the other calls.
Today,
and I was...
You're pretending not to be that person. You just don't know anything about anything, didn't ask
Judge,
any questions.
Objection. Improper question. She's pretending to be someone today.
All right, else we'll strike the question. Ask another question.
Today you're saying you don't know anything and you didn't ask any questions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why were you talking in code on the wire?
I guess that's what everybody's implying is code. I know I made a comment saying, like, I'm so tired of this code shit or whatever because I'm either around my coworkers, I'm around my children, I'm around other people. So he's probably around his coworkers.
You told Sigfredo Garcia that Ethan's clothes cost $65.70, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Those were actually the last 4 digits of the undercover phone number. That was a code, right?
And I just did not want to say it over the phone, somebody's phone number, because I was either at work or I don't know where I was.
Why would giving a phone number cause an issue for somebody at work or one of your kids?
He's trying to call some number that they want me to figure out if it's somebody blackmailing their family. Why would I say that phone number out loud?
Right, but you're not saying the whole story. You've already told Garcia the story when you're at home. On the phone, you're just giving him the number. Why couldn't you just say the number?
I just said it that way.
You didn't say the number because you were afraid law enforcement might be listening, and you knew exactly what it was about, right?
Why would I think they were listening? I wouldn't use my phone.
All right. You say that you said that you got a burner phone, and you got a burner phone the day after the police went to his job, right?
I never got the burner phone. I said Sigfredo got the burner phone before he got arrested.
Didn't you think it was crazy that Garcia wanted you to use a burner phone?
The feds just went to go question him. And at the same time, I didn't even know that they were doing it the same exact moment that they were banging on my door.
If you had nothing to do with the murder, why did Garcia get you a burner phone, not just him?
I don't know. He's the one who got it.
Okay.
Because he figured that it was somebody banging in his door, and then I guess that's why we wanted to talk.
But you'd have the same phone number your whole life. Weren't you curious as to why he wanted you to use a burner phone now?
No.
You didn't ask?
No. The feds just came to his job.
Okay. And after getting the burner phones, you fled your home.
I never fled.
You never stayed at your home again.
I packed up my stuff a couple days after, but my family wanted...
You had someone pack up your stuff.
No, I packed it. If they had the cameras over there, they would have seen that I went there. I packed my stuff, and then I had one of Sigfredo's guy friends to go do the U-Haul for me because I can't lift anything.
You said that you had no idea that this murder of Dan Markel occurred that summer of 2014, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Sigfredo Garcia never... Where did he say that he was going when you took him to the comfort rental car?
I never took him.
Okay. It's just a coincidence then that of all the places...
I never knew his whereabouts or whatever around that time because we weren't even together.
Okay, just a coincidence then that of all the places you could be in Miami and that he could be in Miami, you're using a cell site that services comfort rental at the exact moment that he's renting a car, and you go straight there, time on the rental car, and you go back home.
I never took him to go get a rental.
Okay, so that is just a coincidence, you're saying?
If that's your opinion, yes, ma'am.
And he was also in that rental car as soon as he got back from that trip to Tallahassee. That was outside of your apartment, right?
They had that
the GPS ping?
Yeah, the GPS ping on that parking lot, but that parking lot, other people live there.
Okay. Did you ever see him in the rental car?
No, I did not.
Okay. And you went right back to that area later that day?
Right back to what area?
To the area of comfort rental car. And you weren't taking the car back with him?
No, I did not. I never took him to get a rental.
What about when the Prius was at your house the night before the Tallahassee trip? Did he mention either of those times that he's at your house right after the June trip or right before the July trip, where he was going and what he'd been doing?
I never even knew that the Prius car was in the parking lot.
Did he say that he was about to go to Tallahassee?
No, I would have remembered if he said something about Tallahassee. He doesn't know anybody in Tallahassee.
What about during the 15 or 20 times that you communicated with Garcia during the June trip or the July trip? He never mentioned where he was? You never asked him where he was or what he was doing?
I never asked him where he was. And he wouldn't tell me even if I was to ask him. He doesn't tell me things.
What about the night of the murder? You're July 18th, when you're consistent with being at Rivera's house after you go past Yindra Mascaro's residence. Did you go to Luis Rivera's that night?
No, ma'am.
Where were you?
I don't recall where I was in July 18th.
Okay, well, you were talking to Garcia, and then it shows you going up near Rivera's house, and then after that, your phone is powered off for the night, right? And that's when you go spend the night at Charlie's?
I don't know what happened in July 18th. That's what it's saying on the pings or whatever.
Well, you told your attorney when she was asking you questions, you did spend the night with Charlie that night, right?
No, I don't even remember where I was. I don't know if I was up north or whatever. I don't remember that day.
Yindra was taking care of your kids that night, right?
Well, apparently, yeah, when she had said that I didn't remember that day until she mentioned that it might have been that night.
Okay. Yindra was taking care of your kids that night then? That's a yes?
That's what I'm saying is I don't see her. My daughter was little at that time. Like, I never leave my daughter overnight. That's why it wouldn't make sense to me. I never leave my daughter like overnight at somebody's house.
So Yindra was not telling the truth when she
No,
said that?
I don't know if she babysat that day. I just don't remember. I don't recall ever leaving my children at night. I was living with my mom at that time.
Well,
If that was the case, I would have had my mom because the kids would have been more comfortable.
if Charlie invited you over, you're going up there, your phone's powered off for the night, and you're coming back for that direction that next morning.
That's the route that it's showing, but I don't remember what I did that night.
Well, you
There's no
stayed with
text
Charlie
messages.
during that time, though, right?
No, I didn't. I don't remember what I was doing.
Okay. What about the next morning, the morning of July 19th, when you and Garcia were at Rivera's place?
Me and Garcia were in Rivera's place.
Right.
That was the whole situation. There were so many different versions of that story.
Okay. Well, in your previous testimony, you were asked what you were doing that day, and you were shown this text. You were shown this text, and you said that this text means that you were at the pool that day at 11 a.m. You said that in your previous testimony, right?
I didn't know at what time, but I was at the pool from the text. Like, I was shown the text, and
Mhm.
I guess I don't know what the timestamp was at that time.
Okay. This message does not say you were at the pool at 11 a.m., right? It says you just got back from the pool at 4:54 p.m.
Yeah, but what time did I go to the pool?
You said you
Probably at the
went to
pool.
at 12:18 p.m.
Okay, so
Okay. So you were not at the pool at 11 a.m. like you said in your prior testimony.
but when I was shown that, I'm pretty sure it had like a timestamp or something on it. I don't know why it said 11 at a specific time.
Because you were
Improper impeachment, Judge, that's not what she said in 2019.
okay. If we could look at page 53, 52, lines 23 through 25, and 53, lines 5 through 7.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
52, 23 through 25, and 53, 5 through 7.
Objection, improper impeachment.
That's what it says. I just said that. It said,
All right,
okay.
hold on a second. Ms. Dugan, you take a look at it first.
Okay. You were asked, where were you that day? You said you took Ethan to the pool. You were shown that message. You said, do you remember what time? And you said, I believe it was 11.
That's
That-
not correct.
You're not reading. You're right.
I'm looking at page 53 at the top. Say, I believe it was around 11 in the
I
morning.
believe it said around 11.
All right, that's proper impeachment.
Okay.
Wow.
You were not at the pool, though, around 11 a.m. that day, though, were you?
For me to have said this day because I didn't remember what I was doing, and for me to come up with that time, it's because I was shown something.
Well,
To
these are the
state that.
messages about you going to the pool that day.
I see your messages now, but at the
Right.
time when we did this, and I was shown what time I went to the pool, I wouldn't have just come up with it at 11 o'clock without seeing a text message with the time.
You said in 2019 you took Ethan to the pool around 11 a.m.
I
because
believe
that
it-
means that you wouldn't be at the money drop around 10:30 and 11 a.m., right?
Mischaracterization of what she said in
All
2019.
right, that's sustained. Ms. Dugan,
Okay.
move on. This has been asked and answered.
All right. You
We need
called.
to be mindful of the time also, because I
Yes,
have to
sir.
give time for redirect.
I'm almost done. You called Luis Rivera during the June and July trips. You called his old number, right? That 934 number you had in your phone as Tato
I called the number, but
Right.
I never spoke to Luis.
when you couldn't get in touch with Garcia. You called that
I
number.
believe so.
And you didn't talk to Garcia because that wasn't his phone at the time, right?
What, the 934 number?
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You never talked to Luis Rivera on the phone, usually.
Not that I recall, no.
Okay. You did talk to him though. You called him those 2 dates and then you talked to him the day of the money drop, July 19th, right?
It said that he had called me.
Right. You called him, he called you and then you called him back, right?
I believe so. That's
Okay.
what the call log says.
And you spoke to him. You tried to call him in June and July because you knew that he and Garcia were together in Tallahassee during that time.
I didn't know that they were here.
Well, then why would you call Luis Rivera?
I don't remember why I called him. I called him in June and in July.
Yeah, on the June trip and the July trip.
If he was with Garcia, well, maybe I was trying to get a hold of Garcia.
But those were the only times all summer, though, that you called that number, though.
I don't
That's what
recall
the
that.
expert said?
I don't recall that's the only time.
If you were always trying to call Rivera whenever you were looking for Garcia, you would have called it more than 2 times the whole summer,
I
right?
don't recall that.
And then on July 19th, the reason that y'all were talking that day, you and Luis Rivera, was because that was the day you were supposed to deliver money, right?
I never delivered any money.
You said, so the only time that you call him is during this June and July trip to Tallahassee and the day of the money drop that summer. And your phone locations are consistent with being at his house. But those are just all coincidences. You didn't have anything to do with this murder. That's what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Aren't you mad at Garcia and Charlie for doing this and you're innocent and you're having to answer for it?
Am I mad at them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been upset.
If you were mad at Garcia, I mean, just not long ago, just this month, you said on a recorded call to him, I can't talk to you, I can't touch you, I can't see you, I can't feel you, and you were crying about it.
Yeah, he's the father of my kids. I'm gonna love him forever.
And this $17,000 cash spike during the 6 weeks after the murder being put on the Adelson payroll, even though you didn't collect rent, you made the one appointment, your $4,000 breast augmentation, all of that within the 2 months of the murder. Those are just all coincidences to it. You didn't have anything to do with this. The money had nothing to do with anything that you did.
I've explained everything already.
Okay. All the favors that Charlie did for you after you and him broke up. The trips. Nothing with that had to do anything with the murder. That was just a coincidence too. Just him being nice.
I guess so.
Okay. The fact that he called you out of all of his ex-girlfriends after his mom just said an ex-girlfriend was mentioned. That's a coincidence too.
I guess so.
The fact that your husband committed a murder for your boyfriend. That's also just a coincidence. You didn't have anything to do with it?
I didn't have anything to do with it.
I mean, those are some pretty unbelievable coincidences, right?
Objection improper.
That's sustained.
Okay, you either have the worst luck or you did this, right?
Objection improper question.
Sustained.
Garcia would never do anything to help Charlie Adelson, would he?
I wouldn't think that, but with everything that's all in the evidence and stuff, I mean, it looks pretty bad.
And you said in 2019 he would never do anything.
I did say that because I would never think that they would like each other in any way or do favors for each other.
Okay.
I see why I'm in the middle. I'm smack in the middle. I see
Right.
it. That's why I'm fighting for my life.
And so you did say Garcia would never do anything to help Charlie Adelson.
In my 2019 testimony, yes, I did mention that.
Right. And in opening, your attorney said that there was definitive proof of a link between Garcia and Charlie. What is it?
What did my attorney say?
No, what's the link between Garcia and Charlie?
That they knew each other or they spoke to each other.
How?
I don't know. Apparently everything's being done behind my back. That's why.
That's all. Thank you.
Redirect.
When I was still growing up, and Dad head off to work. He put coat and tie on,